Hey guys, welcome to our neck of the woods.
Hi. We have storms over us, so bear with us.
Yeah,
there's your disclaimer
choppy
to start it off.
So we'll see how bad it is. Just let us know.
If you need to beg us to mute, we will. We understand. Hi, everybody. Oh, so let me start off this way, you guys. There is a crap ton of really bad news out there today. Okay. So I'm going to give you some good news. On Gab, there is a group that has started that is a listing of employers who need employees that are not mandating the Jabberdoodle. So, if anybody sees Tactical Tonto, tell them the universe has heard him and there is something started, so we can maybe spread that out. Yeah, Monty, how are you feeling? Is he in? He may be taking a day off. I don't know. So yeah, so I'm not going to cover any bad news because there's a whole bunch of it.
Good news
if you want me to point you in some directions, I can. But
there's things starting to move out in America now. There really is. It's just you got to start looking for that side of it.
Look, like your life from this point forward, and we all know that the stuff going on is not just surface stuff. And we all know, and I don't care what faith you are or what path you walk, we all know something spiritual, something big spiritual is going on, right? And let's help create that positive, right? Let's help manifest that future that we want.
Got our own
right? So I'm gonna stick with that. If I ever give you guys any news from now on, it's just gonna only be the good stuff. And I found that today, and I thought that was fantastic. Fantastic that's already out there, that's already started. So yeah, so anybody out there looking for work, they have started a board on Gab for employers not requiring the Jabberdoodle. And I think you guys pass that out to whoever. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up, but pass it out. Share that and share it everywhere because we're all in this together.
Yeah, I'm on Gab.
People are losing their jobs because they won't get that, or they won't wear the. And I don't fault anybody for that's their choice. That's your health. You know your body better than any doctor ever will. Ever. And I don't care what they try to convince you of otherwise. You know that. Right? You may go to a doctor to get it checked to find out what it is or what's exactly going on. But when something's wrong with your body, you know you're not balanced. You know you're not proper and right. You know. So listen to that intuition. That's your spirit guiding you, man. That's the best thing. So anyway, yeah. So share that news around, guys. Share it into all the places you go today, because I think that's fantastic. So we didn't really pick anything because this storm came up on us, and we knew it was going to be a doozy. It's still pretty dark out there. I don't know if it's going to start back up. Oh, Southern, I can't wait to see your new trap. Hey, app. So what do you guys want to talk about? I got a text saying some people had some questions, so I would love to hear them. I'm going to go ahead and pop the link in here. Just so you guys know, say it one more time. We have storms over top of us. So if we start breaking up or something, let us know. All right, there it is. There it is. We had a blast yesterday. We wanted to leave it up for a couple of days, but we knew this morning that it was going to storm, so we went ahead and got up early and took it down. But we loved having you all there with us. It was nice, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. Just taking a day off and enjoying family, you know. So thank you for being part of that, people, because we love you. Hey, Bonnie.
There she is.
How you doing, hon?
Hello.
Can you guys hear her?
Oh,
it may be us. It may be us. Hold. Can you guys hear Bonnie? Somebody? Anybody? Can you hear Bonnie?
Can anybody hear Bonnie?
No. Okay, Bonnie.
All right.
Check your mute, hon. You hear her? All right. Bonnie, hold on for 1 minute. We're going to refresh.
All right. You there? Let me check one other thing here. Audio. All right. Give it a try there a second. Go ahead and try again, Bonnie. No. You want to jump back out and try again, or I'll put you back in the back and I'm going to remove you, but check your microphone there.
See if you can.
No. You want to retry?
Just try again.
Just try again.
We'll wait for you.
Yep. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Camo.
Camo. Good. Come on in.
All right.
Monte.
Morning.
Hello. Hello.
You all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You were checking our side of it?
Yeah.
Can chat hear him? Okay. I think we're maybe lagging behind a little bit.
How's your tooth going today?
Yeah, everybody's worried about you. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm about ready to put another aspirin on it, though.
Hey, Betty's going to do a demonstration for us on how to pull it with the least amount of pain. And I want to know that too, because, you know.
Hi, Kathy.
So I wonder what was wrong with Bonnie's.
What's that?
Wonder what was wrong with Bonnie's on Bonnie's end.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. I'll
There
give her
she
another
is.
try
We'll
here.
give her another shot.
Hey, I hear her now.
Yay, we hear you.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
We can hear our echo in your screen.
Well, I turned off the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Am I still echoing?
Nope. Hey, Reaper.
Hey, Reaper.
Howdy.
Out here.
All right, I'm gonna drop back down.
All right. Well,
thank you for
all
coming
right.
up, Monty.
Thanks, Monty.
Monty.
Appreciate it.
No problem. I was just checking to make sure that I could get in through because I didn't know if that was the problem.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
If I ran you
Money
off,
rock.
dude, I leave.
No.
No, you're good. You're good.
Monty's a pretty good guy. He's got some teeth pain right now.
We love
I've
Monty.
seen him. I've seen him on Craig's show, I think, and
Yeah.
maybe
Liberty.
might have been. I think Jeff Riddle is where I've seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Riddle, yeah.
Yeah, we all hang out. You know.
One big group.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all somewhere intertwined.
One thing
Yeah.
after the other here. This is a mister. It's hot here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet.
It's pouring here right
It's
now.
raining right now. Cooled down.
Well, now I got
Not
everything
bragging.
soaked.
Everything's wet. Yeah.
I just moved my office to the camper, and this window AC does not cool as good as my house AC. And I get really hot in here.
I bet it's muggy where you're at. It gets
yeah,
muggy
it's
up
like-
here. We're in the woods.
It takes your breath away when you walk outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live right under the canopy, so yeah, it holds it in.
So you got some questions for us, lady?
Yes, I do. I'm going to turn
Oh, yeah.
off on my phone, so I won't be able to see the chat. But okay. First of all, now, I'm going to try and keep this positive also.
Okay.
With the way everything is sounding, and everyone's all prep, and I have lists like you wouldn't believe, like.
All right. So before you go any further with that, let me say this. As somebody who preps, I prep because I grew up poor, so I know what it's like in times of need to have stuff put back, right? So that there's always something. That's all it is. It's just like your mom or your grandma used to do. You prepared. They call it prepping now, but all it was being prepared for anything, being prepared for whatever. If you got a first aid kit, you're probably all right. If you have some candle, I mean, yeah, have enough food for like 3 weeks for your family. But if you think about it, and you decide that you don't have enough, and you need to make a meal stretch, you're going to start thinking back to the stuff you ate when you were a kid that was fed to you by people that were older, like grandparents and stuff, that they would use to make things stretch and feed the kids. I mean, we used to do tomato soup and macaroni, and my dad made it for me one time here last summer before he passed, and it was like, it brought back childhood for me. And it's not something I make now, but I would in times of need,
Right. I know how to do all that because I raised 6 kids, so you gotta know all the fillers.
So but that's what I mean. Like, you can't let the pressure of the word prepping and the connotations that are put on it. It's simply being prepared for whatever. It could be that you have a storm and there's a power outage for 10 days. That's happened to us. We have ice storms, and the power knocks out in our area for 10 days or more. We all have wood burners. We all have alternative cooking methods. we all, you know, everybody that lives on this hill, everybody has a wood stove and a propane burner somewhere for backup, or they cook on their wood stove, you know.
And
but
that's what I wanted to ask you about. The reason I even found anybody is because of the snowmageddon we had. Okay, and so no power, no water, nothing. And so I know how to now warm things up without power. I know how to start a fire. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So it's more like I'm like, oh my gosh, do I need to get a generator? Do I need to get
all right, so how long was your power out when you went through that? How long was your power out when you went through the storms?
I was very blessed. Mine was off and on. It didn't stay off. So
okay.
Well,
it
got down to about 30 degrees in the house. And so I have seen where you can put a tent up inside your house, everybody get in it, the body heat is gonna keep you warm. So that's why I've been looking into a tent. We have plenty of blankets, sleeping bags, whatever. But
all right, so if you have blankets and sleeping bags and you're on a budget, right? If you have enough blankets and sleeping bags, you can make yourself a tent. There's a reason that we all do that when we're kids, right? The forts in the living room. That came from those cold times, and the heat would go out, and you all had to huddle together between the furniture to keep warm up under the blankets. It's the same reason that they had they called bedclothes, the curtains around the beds back in the 13th century and stuff. That was to keep the heat in. So we know how to do that kind of stuff. We don't need, everybody's got a, this is the best way. This is the way we do it. This is, everybody has their own opinion on that, and everybody's got their own little niche. Some of it's sponsored, some of it's not. Some people are trying to sell you something.
And that's it.
When our power was out, go ahead.
I don't want to go broke doing this, but you're right. There are simpler ways. I have tarps.
So yeah, and you know how to layer things. If you think about it, you raised 6 children. You got more skills than most people out there. Seriously.
You just don't use them every day anymore.
It's just because you're not using them every day anymore.
Once you get back to using them again, it's like
if you go into that, you go into Mama Bear mode. And no offense to you guys, because you guys got Papa Bear mode, and I know. But you go into Mama Bear mode, and you find that's where your creativity always was when you were making, like, the kids want to do this, but you didn't have this for them to do it. So hey, go out in the yard and play and find a creative way to do that, right? And that's what you tell them. Go out and figure it out. Go figure out a creative. And so, as mothers, we tend to do that too. If we don't have something, we ran out of children's Tylenol for her one time when she had a high fever, and I was like, oh yeah, vinegar, you put it on burns, it pulls the heat out. And then I looked it up real quick, and sure enough, soak a pair of the kids socks in vinegar, and then you put them on their feet, and it draws the fever out. So when you think in mom terms, you're always looking for the new creative ways where you don't need all the gadgets, right?
Right.
Or spend money.
So you can apply that. I mean, you can apply that thinking, and your knowledge base is way bigger than you think it is. So there's no fear there because you've done this before. You just didn't do it out of necessity.
Right.
Bonnie,
what do you say, Reaper?
It might have been about 8 years ago. Here on the East Coast, we had a huge snowstorm, And if you guys can remember, it shut down most of Virginia's power for over a week. And it did parts of Tennessee too. Well, I learned during that time just being in a sleeping bag with somebody. I mean, you don't have to have a tent. You don't have to have nothing. Just being covered up next to somebody. That body heat heats up underneath the covers. And, I mean, you and your partner can sleep like that.
Partner. But a dog will work.
Yeah,
dogs do work.
Your dogs keeps them warm and it keeps you warm. If you have little ones, right, you put them in the middle of the adults, or them with an adult on the side and the dog on the other side, or let them sleep with the dog, as a means to keep them warm through the night. And it works.
That's what I told the girls. I said, okay, we're all going to pile in one bed. And
hang some drapes around it. Make a fort.
Dogs,
get the kids involved.
Dogs do put off a lot of body heat. I mean, it's not.
They do.
It's not a joke. I mean, they really do. And I want to say something about the label thing. If somebody calls me a prepper, I get mad as hell. I don't know why. I don't like being called a prepper, just because I think that they mainstreamed it so much.
Yeah,
and turned it into something that
they turned it into a label.
Yeah, I don't like that when people call me a prepper.
You're not actually prepping. You're living.
And I'm real big on that too. Yeah. You're just being prepared.
Here in the South,
for a hard winter, for a late frost, you know, that's how our grandparents did it. They prepared for, just in case spring comes late, you know, and we can't get our harvest started, just in case there's a late frost. They had like 2 months carryover of canned goods from last year's crop.
You would have a specified room for canned goods growing up here. You know what I mean?
And dry.
And all that was being prepared, thinking ahead for your family. You never know what happens. You never know what's going to happen. It could be just as simple as a loss of a job. It's not even a big thing, you know. But you can't live in fear about it. You just do what you can do. And sometimes that's a can or two at a time.
And as you know, as you're doing it, you're rotating your stuff as well. So it's not ever going to go bad. Because you're going to be canning every year. You're going to be, you know, harvesting. You're going to be doing these things. So rotating the stock isn't going to be, it's not difficult. It's, you know, you always have fresh something.
Can I say something off topic real quick?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Camo Carl, I need you to send me an email. You said that you have been modifying stuff for years. And I would like to get in contact with you. So please email me. Jeff, Heather, you have my email if you want to drop it in there so he can grab it. I'm not a mod.
You're not?
No, we were lagging the other day. I'll see what I can do here.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked up with both of them. Maybe not today, because
it's hard.
With the storm, our signal is really, you know.
It's hard to mod me. I have like 6 different YouTubes, so.
And your email address is on your videos.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Camo Carl has actually seen my videos, but.
Oh, Camo, you got to check out Appalachian Reaper. You'll like him. Camo,
he's pretty good.
I want to interview Camo Carl about a ton of different things, because that man's got so much information in his head. Every chat I see him in.
Email open here.
I don't use Facebook, Camo. I have not had Facebook in like 7 years, brother. And Bonnie, I want to thank you for commenting and stuff on my videos. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. I enjoy them.
Hey, our thing's not pulling up. Our signal's not strong enough for 2 tabs today.
You're fine.
We'll get it up, and we'll put it up though for you. If you guys haven't checked out the Appalachian Reaper, please go check out his channel. any mods that have the link for it, would you be kind enough to post it? And if I can't get his email up today, it's just Appalachian Reaper, App Reaper, right?
Wait a minute. Where's your book?
Yeah. appreaper11@gmail.com. So I usually
Can one of
spell
you
it
mods
out.
please do that for
So
us? I have it written down too. App Reaper. Yeah, there you go.
yeah. appreaper11@gmail.com.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
I think
got App Reaper brand.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that-
it is brand. I'm sorry.
Nope. That's fine.
See, now,
At Reaper
That's
brand.
yeah.
We got your back. We got your back. 11 at Gmail.
Gmail. Yeah.
We're getting it.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
you
copy
guys
Camo Carl,
like it.
but I can't.
Artist, just 1 minute. You got her in?
Alright, there you
hi,
go.
artist.
Hi, artist. All right, I dropped that in the chat there.
All right, thank you guys for that.
Well, you're welcome.
Oh yeah,
You're welcome.
absolutely.
So I have another question.
Okay.
Hi,
everybody.
Hello.
I'm in a small town.
Hold on 1 second, artist. Just 1 second.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bonnie.
I'm in a small town, but it's a busy area, and so if we needed to leave further, what would you recommend? A tent, a travel trailer? I mean, I know a travel trailer would be more supplied.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, because you can get those little travel trailers with tiny little kitchens and everything in the back. So those are nice to have. You can get travel trailers that have like pop-up tents on top of them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let Reaper give his opinion on this.
It would be kind of hard depending on your situation. Say you have a week ahead of time to know when something is coming, then a travel trailer would be awesome. But like we don't know. We never know when something's gonna go wrong. So
right.
Personally, me, I'm where I live in the mountains. I'm gonna stay home. But for somebody that's close to the city, I would be trying to find a way to, or a busy area. I'd be trying to find a way to move out of there now, because we all know something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Within the next 2 or 3 years at least, something's gonna have to happen. So
problem here, it's, and I don't mean this in a bad way. We're not allowed to be hillbillies here. Like, if you live in a travel trailer, you can get your kids taken away. You can get your kids taken away for anything here. And so it's a little difficult because you just financially cannot just,
I understand that.
Yeah, true.
People are hiring all over the place. Where you want to go is going to be, on you, and and your daughter,
and 2 granddaughters.
And 2 granddaughters.
There's 4 of us.
Wow. Yeah.
Look, we love Ohio. We love Ohio because even with the dollar being crap, you still get more bang for your buck in this state. We're one of those real far behind states on that kind of stuff. And we do a lot of stuff all here in state. Like we have dairy farms, we have slaughterhouses, we have leather works, we have still shops. We've got we've got everything. We've got gas. We've got oil riggers here. We've got truckers. We got every. It's like its own little eco bubble, right? We've got all the agriculture you could possibly want. So if you're going to look for a place that has most, if not all, things that are going to be required for continuation, I guess, right? Or starting over at a local level. So that would be my best advice. I can't tell you where to go on that. I know Shane is talking about go to the Cherokee in Oklahoma, the Cherokee Reservation in Oklahoma, which is not far, I don't think.
Yeah, I had seen him tell Beth that.
Stay back there.
Okay.
That's why
Give me
I was
1 minute, guys.
Yeah. Just give us 1 second.
Stay back there.
I know here in Tennessee we have local Cherokee reservations too. And
we
Bonnie,
talked about Tennessee.
I hate to hear that about Texas being like that, but there's one thing I know for sure about DCS: do not comply. Same thing as we say about everything else. When they knock on your door, don't answer. And you don't have to let them in, even though they bring a cop with them.
Yep.
You don't have to let them in.
Well, now we know this, but we didn't. And
I would just look for something you can afford. Try to figure things out. Being in a busy area is not good for nobody. You know?
All right, huh? Yeah.
Okay. We lose them?
Like Heather was saying, there's things in Ohio that they can't do. I mean, and that's just because of the state. Boy, that's a rough one.
I agree with Jeff and Heather too. Ohio is a good state. You want to be in a state that's close to the mountains. For me, that's what I want. I want to be close to the mountain ranges. I want to be as far away from civilization as I can be, with being able to, for it to benefit me to go to when I go to the store, it doesn't take me an hour. So I'm kind of like in the country, but it takes me 15 minutes to get to the store. And the town I live in has 3 red lights. So that's the type of town I like to be in, you know.
we have 2.
We don't have any. We're actually literally on the sign is called Kilbuck Village, or the Village of Kilbuck. It's a village, so.
That's good advice from our son.
I'm making a trip to Ohio.
Are you? Awesome.
Yeah.
October 2nd?
I'm coming to kill y'all's deer when I get up there.
Hey, you can't do that.
I bet you be renting a hunting cabin down the road.
Be hanging in one of your trees.
He just gave.
He'll be hanging in one of your trees. You won't even know he's there.
You're probably in a ghillie suit.
Yeah, I've got one of those too. Now that Jeff told me where you guys live, I'll definitely be in a hunting cabin down the road watching see.
Yeah, there's literally one right down the road. They fly the American flag and the Canadian flag.
Yeah,
because our area
is well known for
they do trips to Canada, and Canada comes here. They go up there
hunting tours.
Yeah,
and they'll do up north, and then they come down here they'll swap out guys and do
They'll do
they,
bear
they
and
do
elk
like 12 guys
up in Canada, and they'll come down.
Come down here and do the deer down here.
Yeah, deer and something else. Something else they hunt down here. Turkey.
Bonnie, if I could tell you one thing about the local area I live in, the cost of living is cheap. You can go to like Pennsylvania, or I don't know how it is in Ohio anymore, but I know in Pennsylvania a pack of cigarettes would cost me $5 or $6. Now here in Tennessee, you can still get them for $2.70. You know.
Wow, man, they're like $7 up here, but we roll our own, and it's way more cost effective and a whole ton less of chemicals.
This is the brand. Well, yeah, the brand we're smoking is called the Good Stuff. It's a pound of tobacco, menthol gold.
This is not a paid promotion.
This is not an advertisement or paid promotion. Just what we prefer.
Yeah, I used to use the Good Stuff.
Not a paid promotion or anything. Just what we prefer to use.
Right.
And these are just can size. These aren't 100s. 4 boxes of these to that 1 pound. To that 1
Love
pound.
you, Ship.
And that's 2 weeks of cigarettes. So it's a carton a week for me and a carton for her. So, but at the same time,
I love small towns.
I'm doing mine right now. When I get done, I'll show you what it looks like, because we do it by hand. But we can also gauge them as well, which I like.
I have that set back for just in case I can't get mine.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've got a rolling machine, and
this is,
I have the
Right
hot
here.
rod tubes.
and then after I get done packing the tobacco down in there, I twist my end, and that's how much tobacco I don't have at the end here. So I'm not actually making a whole cigarette, and the tobacco only comes to right to my right about my finger, right in there, and then the rest of it's filter all the way back.
Wow.
So we're actually not getting a full cigarette, but in the end, we sometimes
But
actually got to get like four and a half cartons worth of.
I miss that about living in
cigarettes.
West Virginia, you guys. Just to say the chat real quick, I miss that because when I lived in West Virginia, everything was really cheap too.
Oh yeah.
And everything, like, you know, if you lived in certain areas, everything was around you local. That's what I like.
And now the tobacco is 11. Yeah, 11 something, and then the 4 cartons comes. It comes roughly
Nice
about
camera.
$27 all together. 26
Yeah.
to 27 bucks.
True artist, true.
I've got to stop smoking soon, so.
Well,
Me
the other
too.
part that we like about this, when you do roll your own, if you're far away from it or you can't get to it, 90% of the time I'll just roll one later, and you walk away from it. So you actually, if you can keep doing that, you get away from smoking so much.
All right, 2 things real quick. If you can fight the urge for 3 minutes, the physical and the mental part of it, the physical one will go away quicker than the mental one will. But if you can fight the physical urge, you can detox your body from the nicotine, and that'll help.
Yep. That does.
2, I'm looking at different homemade remedies to help as a stop smoking aid that help you reduce the nicotine urge. So if I'm going to do a show on it soon, but I've got a little bit more research I want to do on that before I make a show on it. And that way I can give everybody some decent advice, because hardly any of the smokers that I know want to be smokers for the rest of their lives, you know?
What's rabbit tobacco?
I'm hugging my flag.
For me personally,
It's hugging you back.
I don't find the urge to smoke when I'm hunting, so it's not been hard for me. Like, I quit every hunting season, and then I start back up as soon as it's over.
Why?
It's weird.
Just for habit? Is it just habit? Like some people only smoke when they drink, or like that?
No.
I've always I smoked for years, and I've not ever really stopped. But during hunting season, I quit because I'm in a tree. I'm looking for animals, and I'm trying to be scent free as I can. Um, and I just kind of don't do it. Yes, I do put chewing tobacco in my mouth sometimes when I'm hunting, but not that often. Uh, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where I'm so concentrated on something else that it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Now, when I'm painting, I don't smoke a lot because I get so immersed in it, just like you do when you're hunting, basically, you know. When I paint, I can get so immersed in it that I don't need a cigarette.
Yeah. We'll see you,
everything
Chuck.
else goes out the window.
Have a good afternoon.
But you can smoke sage. I didn't know you could smoke it. I mean, I know it's used to cleanse but I didn't know you could smoke it. That might be a healthier alternative. I can't imagine it wouldn't be. It's very, very powerful.
I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna be done.
Do you guys remember the Clover cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were so nasty. So nasty.
Yep.
And the
Yeah, I remember
smell.
them. Oh, yeah. We had a lady on that was downtown. Oh. Yeah, right beside the babysitter. She just, Here, honey, go down and get me a pack of clove cigarettes. Handed you 60 cents and went down and got her a pack of clove cigarettes. Then you didn't want to be around because you're right. Those things, they just stink.
Yeah.
I want to say something else. My grandfather, when he passed away, now he passed away probably 10 years ago or so, but when he died, he swore up and down to me that they had changed the alcohol, they had changed the tobacco from what it was in prior years in history.
Yep. Absolutely did.
Yep.
Because
yes,
he said
did.
Throughout the 60s, it was a completely different thing. Like, he wouldn't get sick or nothing, which I know some of that's old age, but when he got older and he drank, he got sick quickly. But, you know, I honestly think they changed some of that stuff too, because a lot of people, I think they made it all more addictive for more money.
That's exactly what they did. They intentionally put chemicals on there that were carcinogen, that were addictive. And then they add, here's the other thing. If you are a smoker, rolling your own cigarettes, you're not smoking the fire retardant. Because I don't know if you know this, but at the factory, when they pack your tobacco in these tubes, and then they're a packed cigarette, right? They then spray the outside of that cigarette with a fire retardant chemical.
You know,
here's the bang up part of the story here. They'd go and do that.
Can't make it up. I'm sorry.
When they make the paper to keep the cigarette going, there's kerosene on the paper to keep the cigarette burning, because true tobacco, if you let it sit with normal paper, it goes out. Over the years, they put a kerosene on to keep the cigarette burning, so it never went out on you. Then they passed the law, in the 90s?
Awesome artist.
For the fire retardant.
Yeah.
So
because of the kerosene.
so instead of taking the kerosene out for the fire retardant,
they added more to it. They
just added fire retardant. Just keep adding. Don't take away. Just keep adding.
Bye, Ship. See you next time.
But the other thing that's nice about this stuff too is it's more natural. There's not all the other chemicals sprayed on this that's in Marlboro or Camel or Lucky Strike.
Any of the
brand names. Those are required by law to be sprayed before, even after they're cut down, and then sprayed again.
But all that being said, we are trying to stop smoking. Yeah. And we do not encourage anyone else to smoke. No. And it is bad for your health. The one thing that the Terminator did get right when he was a governor was that he made these people do warning labels on food, on tobacco, on these other things, and I think that was actually smart. And I know everybody bitched about it at the time, but it's kind of like that fair use or informed consent, you know.
Right. Well, they even make the sodas addictive.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
seen people that can drink a case a day, and I'm like, how?
Yeah. And you know, they do the same thing with the fast food. Anybody out there still eating fast food, I don't know what's wrong with you. You might need your mom to come up and Benny Hill you, because that's just ridiculous. No, seriously, there are so many things in that fast food, and a lot of it is chemically derived, and it is very, very bad for you. And yes, it is an addictive flavoring.
Hi, Greg.
My daughter and granddaughter eat takeout every day.
Yeah.
Even if I could eat, they go get takeout. So I quit cooking.
No.
You will not ever catch me turning down home cooked meals.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. Yep, Benny Hill, yeah. Sorry. It's my Ohio showing. So what other questions did you have, hon? Because you know, I don't want this shouldn't be stressful for people,
For anybody,
and I think that there is being a lot of stress being created, even for those that don't really have fear, but they're letting it create stress within them. And I think it's really great that you're coming up and asking these questions, because I know probably you're not alone with these questions, but you're brave enough to ask them, you know?
Well, and that's, you know, you start watching all these channels, and this one lady on, I mean, she just flat out said, haven't been prepping for 10 years. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to die, you know? And I'm like, people don't want to hear that, you know?
He's on our audience, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's, with me, it's just trying to figure out what I should get right now. Like, I mean, I really feel that September 11th is going to be something. I don't know what, but
I get it. No, I understand. Okay. So have you done an inventory of what you have? Because that's the place you want to start. What do I have? And that way you'll know what you need. You understand? So do an inventory of what you have. And if you think it's going to be that big or that bad, you know, count your blankets, count your pillows, count your food supplies, plan out, if take a little bit of time and say, we have this amount of food, I can make this many meals, right? That's going to give you a good start. You're going to, how do I store water? Or how do I have access to water?
that's my main thing. So I'm like, do I get some Sawyer minis? We have a river, but
Do you know how to make a homemade filter if you need it?
Can I comment on something?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Bonnie, I'm country as cornbread. I've drank out of many streams and never got sick, but you will need to have some sort of filter. And if Jeff and Heather can teach you how to make a homemade filter, that would be perfect. I think you really just need carbon from a fire, if I'm not mistaken, and some way to compact it.
which you can use 2 stones to compact it. You can use 2 stones to make flour. The Indians did it. Why can't we? Right? The Native Americans. And I meant no disrespect out there. None whatsoever.
Well, I know I've seen Ark Wildman take water bottles, and I don't know if I think he used a sock, sand, rocks, grass.
Oh, I don't know what the grass did. But I can tell you that the rocks are to catch the big debris. The sand catches finer debris. And if you have charcoal, like Reaper was saying, from a fire, right? You got the coals left over. You're not going to throw them out. You're going to put them in that sock and you're going to bang them up a little bit. All right? And then so there are your 3 layers: charcoal, sand, and some pebbles. And that will give you because the charcoal is going to attract any bacteria or help me out, somebody. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Giardia.
Yeah. So, that's a simple little filter. Always have a clean pair of socks in a backpack. If you don't know, you should always have 2, in my opinion, at least a minimum. I've got a 6-pack of brand new socks in the backpack. So that's a second pair for me, her, and him if we need it. And that's also 6 water filters. Okay. So in an emergency situation. All right. Now, if you're going to stay where you're at, you can set up a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket with the same kind of filtration system. And there's you some drinking water and cooking water.
No, what? One of my friends gave me a it's not a Berkey, it's the cheaper one.
Yeah.
Is it Brita?
Brita?
Yeah.
Good, or I mean, it's got new filters.
It's going to be good enough. Yeah. If it comes to you don't know if the septic is emptied into the river, well, you're going to be doing boiling and filtering at that point because. Hold on, guys.
She's being very vocal right now.
What?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What she's trying to say is it depends on where you live and what kind of stream you have. Like for me, why I'm saying I drink out of streams without anything, it's because it's coming off of a rock mountain, and I know that there's nothing above that. Now, where you're in Texas and flatland, you might have anything coming through septic, like she said, any type of treatment plant upstream. Then you do want to boil that water before you even filter it.
Well, we have a lot of ranches, so you know that waste from the animals is going into.
Well, if you're going to cook with it or you're going to drink it, you're probably going to filter anything out of it first. And given the ability, you're going to boil it and let it set before you drink it. Now, if you feel like there's going to become a situation, and this is going to have to be something that you pray on, Bonnie, and you really ask yourself honestly the question, do you feel like the situation is going to turn to where you need to leave the security and familiarity of your home? Then you're going to want to think about getting life straws or something for drinking water. In that scenario, you're going to want to know that you have drinking water until you get to your next available place. But if you're going to stay where you're at, kids go swimming in that water every year. I almost bet you're running through it. Everybody's drinking that water when they get dunked under, whether they want to or not. You know what I mean? And if they're not ending up dying from some deer scat, I think that So those are questions though you need to ask yourself. What are you preparing for? Are you preparing to stay and hunker it down? Or are you preparing to be on the move?
Yeah.
I have a suggestion. I've, I've not said this on any other channel. I don't think anybody stated this really. If you do plan on being on the move, you need to buy Luco tape. The only place you can find it is on Amazon. Uh, Luco tape will stick to your feet for weeks, even after you shower and stuff, so it keeps the blisters off of anything. If you get cut, Luco tape, just look it up. It's not that expensive. It's it's something that everybody needs to have. It's a type of medical tape, but it's the only medical tape I've seen that will actually stay for a long time. I'm sorry about that, Bonnie. You can go ahead, man.
No, that's okay. Do you know how to spell that? Luco?
Luco. I'm pretty sure that's how they spell it.
Thank you.
Nice. You guys see that comment at the bottom of the screen Betty put up?
No.
There is a leaf test. In a small stream, you put a leaf in it and you count slowly to 100. If the leaf has moved 2 feet, you can drink it close to the rocks. Wait, I think there's more. If it's close to the rocks, she's probably still typing.
If it's close to the rocks. And what that means by that is...
Oh, okay, never mind.
Like a shallow stream. And if it's still moving, the water is filtering through the rocks as it's going.
Hold on.
This? Yeah, you got to keep... Betty, she's also in Tennessee, so we have a lot of fast-moving streams that are, coming naturally.
The faster moving the water, the cleaner. That's the other thing, Reaper. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't talk about that, and a simple little thing is if it's a fast-moving stream, if it's continuous flow, there's new water coming in all the time. Right?
Yeah, because if you have an animal use the bathroom upstream, and it would technically have to be within eyesight of you for you to drink any of its feces or urine, because it's gone by the time,
Yep. And that's what I mean. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the fear porn out there, because that's really kind of what it is. It's gotten to the point where all they're doing is raising everybody's fear levels, and they're not doing any good with it. And the thing is, they're not telling you is that you already know these things. You just don't realize you know them. You can't see the context because they're flipping it to their point of view only.
Rely on that.
Everybody has some of these skills. They do. You really do. You may not have the knowledge, but that's easy to find and brush up on.
So it's good to go out and get out in the nature and get out and
go camp in the backyard and see if you can build it. See if you can build a tent out of what you have that you could carry, and have the family do it with you like a backyard camp out. See how long it'll take you to set it up. See how comfortable everybody sleeps, and go through the night. See, make sure that you can do it.
I'll give you a little thing that Raina did last year. It was cute as anything. I was proud of her for it. There's this little small creek stream down at the bottom down here where she can go comes up to about her knees, a little above her knees in the water. She can play in it and have fun. But on the other side of the road, it's real shallow. It's, 2-3 inches deep. Water's coming down off the hill. Well, she got it in her idea. It was in her own mind. She started piling up the rocks and backing the water up, but without it pushing the rocks forward. And then she set up one other rock to where she could put her water bottle underneath and fill it up whenever we came down and drove past the wall. And she thought it was all on her own. So once we taught her building dams and doing things, last year she did that all by herself. came up and said, I'm going to do this, Dad. I'm like, okay. And I didn't know what she was doing. She was talking about getting water. I'm like, okay, we're going to get water. You know how kids are. They're excited when they want to do something awesome. So, anyhow, in the end, she got done. She did a really good job. You could actually put like one of those thermos coolers down inside of one of them and fill it up along with throwing up bottles underneath the rock. She did a great job. But that's just, now that she knows, she'll never forget that. She will never forget that the rest of her life. So she knows how to
But
get water.
she may not count it as a
water.
skill. She just may count it as a happy memory.
Yeah. And that's all, you know.
Right.
So many things our parents taught us when we were little, you know, our grandparents. It all sinks in. I mean, making glue out of flour and water so you can put your wallpaper up. I mean,
so, I mean, you know, I want you to think about it. Try to look at it that way. Try not to think about, if you haven't been doing this for the last decade, I don't know what you're going to do. That's crap. That's crap. And I'm sorry for whoever said that to you. Gosh, I hope they have their heads screwed on
just
right.
to me. It was to the whole.
Well, I know,
group.
but that's telling anybody that.
Getting people to get riled up.
That's it puts you in a state of panic because of the love of your family. You know, it puts you in a state of fear and worry and anxiety, and that's not a good place to be. That's how you lose your immune system. Seriously. So stop, breathe, reevaluate, remember what you already know, and as a mama or as a daddy or integrity. As anything, I know you've cared for something before in your life, even if you don't have children.
You've got great integrity and you never lost it. It's just things haven't been used as much, and now it's time to do it again. And it's not, you know, it's looking after the family. But and, you know, it's what it is.
Humanity instinctively knows how to care for each other. We really do. And I fully believe that is instinctual, to love and care for one another.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Camo, I'm sorry.
Can you all hear me? I just want to check the mic, see if you guys can hear me.
Absolutely. Once we get going, sometimes we don't know how to stop.
But yeah, I mean,
you guys can hear me.
You know, yeah, go ahead, Camo.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just want to tell you guys before I lose my battery. There is one skill about obtaining water I think every one of you ought to know, and it's super simple. And it's a water that you don't have to filter or boil. It's going to come to you clean. And all you need is a large sheet of plastic, preferably, preferably a transparent plastic, but others will work. And you dig I don't care if you're in the desert, I don't care where you are, as long as you can get into that ground and you lay that sheet over top of the hole and weigh it down around the hole and put something in the middle to cause it to sag down like a cone and have your collection underneath of it, you will steadily get water with a solar still, and it will draw the water out of the ground clean and ready to go.
Hello, Bonnie.
Yes, and he's very right. And distilled water isn't going to have anything in it. So if you don't have a way to cook, or to boil your water or what have you, you can use a solar still. You can use it with seawater for that matter. Hold on, I'm going to pull up a. You can keep talking, Carl.
I posted the link on there for a YouTube solar still. The second one, first one I posted was a song.
I got a bunch of these little graphics because I try to.
Well, I noticed something. I noticed something on YouTube when I went to go search for the solar still link. They have a bunch of improvised water bottle style stills, but it's almost like they're trying to hide the original, because the original has been used to train pilots in military survival schools for decades. It's a tried true method.
Yep. Hold on, guys.
Did I lose you?
Nope.
Well, my connection's not all that good sometimes, so you might lose me at any moment. It's not ever intentional.
Are you having storms up there, Carl?
No, they went through last night and yesterday. You know, I clicked on the Appalachian Reaper channel you posted here, and here I was already subbed to him and didn't even know it. I must have clicked on it in a different chat.
It separates it from the.
Okay, can they see this now?
Yeah, they can.
Bonnie, can you see what we're
gonna share something real quick. This one's a little different.
Okay,
we're doing this thing here. Window.
Up on screen.
Okay.
Yeah, here in 1 second, and then whatever.
It will be in 1 moment.
Because that's why you got to separate
Okay.
the pages. Okay.
Yep.
That one should be
all
it.
right.
Be up on screen.
Can you see that?
There you go. And it's the picture in the black on the right hand side. There.
This is and Carl is right. This is absolutely an essential skill. You have to know how to have water, how to get water. Can we make it bigger?
Yeah.
You know, you can tap a tree and steal its water. You can get a lot of water out of vines too, and that's all clean and ready to go as well.
Yeah, exactly. But this is fail-proof. Fail-proof distilled water. I mean, and you can set that up like a solar cooker too. As a matter of fact, take the water out of there. Isn't that right, Carl? Double purpose, right?
That's right, but I also would recommend just doing this in your backyard and honing your skills before you actually need it.
And you see how that is, Bonnie?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep, it's completely, there's no holes anywhere. You're digging your hole, you place your pot down inside, take your plastic, you drape the plastic over the hole and put a little small weight in the middle of the plastic. And then the condensation from the inner earth condensates, comes down, drips in the pot.
Now, the other thing is
clean water.
You can put water around the outside of it.
What's that?
That's an excellent illustration.
That is awesome. Hold that there.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, we'll leave it up there for a minute.
We'll draw it up. A quick draw for yourself.
Take a picture.
Or I can drop a link in the Oh, there you go. Take a screenshot, yeah. Oh yeah, coffee. Is there enough in there?
Yes, sir.
Is there?
Down where the Reaper's at and down in the hills, you know, where they have all the cave systems under the Blue Ridge, you got to be kind of careful with them streams because they've got a lot of critters that might live up in the caves, and then they'll pollute that water before you get to it.
Out here. Okay, we'll see Artisan Poet.
Yeah, agree, Carl. I really do.
Yeah, you better check on him if he's like me.
I know about 20 miles. There's a rock wall that water comes out of, so I know it's got to be from a spring.
She's gonna want those pictures.
The problem is the springs come up in multiple locations. You could have it exposed down the line, and it could be contaminated, go through the ground, and come back up contaminated. You got to know the source of the spring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, do you have a recommendation on how thick of plastic to use? I've found that you can do it with anything. Like you said, transparent plastic is going to be your best, but you can use any plastic to do this method.
You know, I'd swear that 1 millimeter, I'd swear that foggy looking plastic works better than plain clear or solid colors.
The thinner mill?
Yeah, you know, the stuff that's kind of foggy, you can't really see through it, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff seems to work the best for those.
Like window plastic. Right?
Exactly.
For the wintertime?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the bigger the piece you get, the more water you're going to get. The bigger the hole you can make, and the bigger you can cover it, the more you're going to get from it.
Hobbit, I want to invite Hobbit up. Please if you got questions, I don't know if you guys pay attention, but in chat we have some very wonderful people, and
Bella Star,
all of these
Bella
folks
Star,
are good folks.
I've
All these
actually
folks have,
used a shower curtain.
yeah, you can. That's the thing. You can use anything in this in an emergency. You can still make these things work for you. Have trash bags if you trash bags, duct tape, WD-40, because and some super glue
and some black trash bags too.
And black trash bags too. Yes, very, very. Here's the thing. You can get all these at the Dollar Tree. You guys don't have to go out and spend a mint on these things. Okay? These things are only things. They're going to help you develop skills.
Well,
they're not.
There's a saying in the military. It's called improvise, adapt, and overcome.
That's right. I've heard that before.
Exactly. So, I mean, you
know what I use as a pool
let
heater?
your inner child out, right? You're going to be good because that little person can guide you a lot.
I'll give everybody a chance to guess what I use as a pool heater.
Not farts and blowtorch.
I'll make a guess. I'll take a guess. Is it 3 clay flower pots at different sizes, screwed together with a threaded bolt and a candle?
No. That's lawn deco. Dang it.
No, that'll work. That if you,
well, I know.
If you take,
it will work. That's right.
It'll work.
That's true.
Oh yeah. You got to guess, Bonnie.
What you use for heat?
To heat our pool, yeah.
Your pool?
Yeah.
You're gonna love this.
U.S. issue immersion heater.
No.
Cost me probably less than $5.
All right, just go ahead and tell them.
Oh, you're using just a black tarp. You're just using a black tarp.
Well, not a tarp, but black trash bags. Got them from the Dollar Tree.
Lay them across the top of the water.
Yeah, lay them right across the top of the water. They sit there and float. They don't sink. As long as you don't mess with them, they stay still. They stay right there. And as the pool's running, it's heating the water up. And then I just take them off when she wants to go swimming. Yeah, when she wants to go swimming, I just take them off and I lay them over the chair. And then when she's all done, I lay them back on top of the pool, and they stay right on top of the pool.
Wow. Rock and roll.
Yeah, it doesn't do, it heats it up. It heats it up, but not as well as some of the other ones can heat up your pool, because there are a few gaps in between. But we don't have any issue with it. I just use bleach and baking powder and vinegar as our pool chemicals, because that's all it is. It's in pool chemicals, is in the shock. Read the ingredients that are in it. It's a certain amount of the bleach with certain amounts of vinegar and baking soda. That's all it is. It's just you got to know how to, make. I had to learn how to gallons per how much to use and all that. I had to do all the calculations, but once I learned, I was like, oh, listen, I can save a bunch of money.
I wanna address Hobbit in chat real quick. Oh, we love you, Hobbit. Don't be in tears. Don't be scared. You can't be scared, honey. You gotta listen. If you have questions,
a hobbit fears nothing.
Ask. If you have questions, ask, because you'll get it. You'll have an answer.
Yeah, somebody will answer you.
And
especially
our
here.
chat. Listen, the people in this chat are amazing. And I have Camo Carl up here, you guys. This guy is brilliant. Have you ever just read his chat?
Or seen a
Holy mackerel. And thank you, sir, for your service. I want to say that too. Any of you that have served, thank you. Yes. Thank you for your service.
I have never been.
Uh-oh.
Aww.
We might be losing them.
Oh, no. Camo, talk to me.
There he is. I think we got him. You there?
Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, a
There
little
you
bit.
go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Now
Yeah.
we can hear you.
I've never been. I don't want to make you think I have been. I tried
Breaking up
mine with
again.
Johnny Tide. All right, let me see. Is this any better?
Oh,
Try that.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. You don't sound like
All
you're
right.
in a
Just
war zone.
I got to say this because I don't want no false impression. All right. I have never been in the military. I'm totally independent.
Okay, well.
I'm not affiliated with any groups or organizations. Anytime a militia approaches me, I say no, thank you.
Sir, thank you for your service and talking to us then, because I know that you have a wealth of information in that brain of yours. I've been watching you in chat for a while and in other chats too.
Well,
and I love
the
information that you have because you just good common sense, down to earth, and
how you present it too.
All of you guys out there that share, that's what this is about. Share the information with each other. Right? Yeah, Tracy, he does. He rocks.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help people. I really am.
Yeah. You listen, sir, you will always have a platform here. You can come up and speak. This is what we're trying to do. We're just trying to share information with people that, you know, ways they can do things that aren't going to cost them an arm and a leg. They don't got to invest in this gadget or that gadget. I just want to help people. I really do. And this is the only way I know how. And all I have is common sense knowledge too, you guys. I don't have any licenses. Or I do have a degree, but not in anything that I talk about. So, you know,
I agree. That I wished all of y'all were my next door neighbors. I agree.
Right?
I'm always tickled to be able to help somebody.
Listen, if you guys all pulled together, there's like 40 acres right beside us. Right? And you could buy it because all they do is rent it out for hunting land. So you know it's good property, right? If you guys all pulled your money together and everybody built a house on that property, then we'd have our own little neck of the woods.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Does it snow in Ohio? I know it does.
Yes, ma'am.
Heck yeah.
4 seasons here.
Can you see that?
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Bonnie, does it snow in Texas?
No.
It did when I was there.
Yes, it does.
We're just picking once every 10, 15 years, maybe.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal phenomenon that, yes.
No. Sorry.
But yeah.
Raina's going to lean out the door here in a second and go, do.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, right. Phenomenon. That's right.
Phenomenon. All right. Sorry,
Did
you guys.
See how many people, when we did have that freeze, how many people they said that died, and like I said, I was blessed here. I don't know how that happened, because you just all cuddle together, and I don't know. It was just bad, and we've already had warnings for the summer for our grid. I don't know what the difference is in our grid and everybody else's.
Because Texas has always maintained some sort of independence. That independence also comes at a price, right? Yeah. And that's kind of how the grid's set up, so that
Texas is a really good state to live in.
It is. No, we're not putting. We love Texas, but
yeah, until they get pretty much no different than what California wants.
It's Texas
they want to be
doing
their
the
own country.
last great
And
defiance.
there's nothing wrong
Right?
with that. It's getting off the union. It's not really becoming your own country. It's just coming off the union and
Nobody.
becoming republic. And of course, the government doesn't like that because
Right.
they lose all their tax money.
So you don't think it was a hop on our grid?
I think it has. I personally, in my opinion, think it has to do with certain things that are going on behind the scenes that people can't figure out and that won't be able to figure out because we're not being told about. That is none of our business because that's how war goes. And if they say this is a cyber war, well, then we need to understand that
How many
the
things are
respect for
connected there
that
too?
needs to be there, thinking that you think you have all the intel, but no, you don't. We don't know what's really going on. We can only speculate, have discernment, catalog it, listen, don't freak out, just keep going forward every day, a little every day, just a little every day, just accomplish one thing every day. And before you know it, you're going to be just fine. And then the next thing you know, if nothing goes wrong, well, you're still going to be just fine. And you just keep on moving forward every day like our grandparents did. And you listen and you pay attention. And when something's not right for humanity, you get up in their face over it now. And it's like that. It's what it used to be, needs to be again today with our young being involved. Because I was having another
Exactly.
discussion on
100%.
somebody else's
Never
channel.
hurts to be prepared.
That's right. And I was discussing this on someone else's channel, and it was just a little throw in, but it's the point behind it. We weren't brought up to be political. We weren't brought up to go in. We were just brought up to vote. We weren't brought up to pay attention to the politicians and what's going on. Only a little bit, but not what is going on today. And it needs to be, what is that bill for? And it needs to go to the people before it even gets sent somewhere else so the people can approve it before the senator or the congressman or the whomever they think they're going to be putting this through for no more. And that's going to be the hard part. And
Well, here's the thing about prepping. Here's the thing about prepping. Is it's way better to be over prepared for something in a situation than to be under prepared for something.
Well, yeah, and then we were discussing that earlier. It's not really. I think we weren't putting it down. It wasn't, but being prepared.
You're being prepared for
the label they're putting on prepping today is kind of hurt certain things as well. Because this is how we've always grown up.
They've turned it into a label to sell gadgets. Camo, you know that.
We've always been 6 months to
but
only because we grew up in farming.
I don't have a single newfangled gadget. All of my gear is 20 years or older.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's what we're saying is they've twisted it. It's another way they've used our language and they're trying to use it against people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
all we're saying.
There is nothing wrong with being prepared. Our grandparents did it all the time because they knew anything could happen.
They taught that in the Scouts.
Yeah.
Yep. We all know it. We all know it. We may not know how to do it, but we all know it. We all have a sense of that. It's been part of our lives somewhere, right? It wasn't that long ago because our grandparents were the children of the Depression. So
my mother was born and raised in Amarillo, Texas. She was born in 1918. She was in the center of the Dust Bowl the entire Depression and didn't even hear about or even hear of ice cream until she was 16 years of age. She was the most frugal woman I've ever known, and she snuck a whole lot of info into this mind here without me realizing it. About plants and critters and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Started there.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, and like Hobbit. Go ahead, Bonnie. Go ahead.
I didn't have that like he's talking about. We had a homemade ice cream maker that we had to sit on it while they turned it and cranked it, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, the ice
But
would
we
pop.
didn't.
Yeah, and it would pop up.
And we didn't really live off of foliage. We would grow what we needed, but not anything medicinal or anything like that. I
Right.
do have two great grandmothers that were Indian, but back then, I guess it was like they felt embarrassed about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because that was a hard time for our
Yeah.
nation. It was specifically a hard time for the Native Americans
Yeah.
back then.
We still have.
And so yeah, I get it.
We
So
still have a
those things
whole lot
were not
of
passed down.
medicine women and men here in Ohio. They're hard to find.
It's hard to get them to share their
And
knowledge
it's hard
with
for
you.
them to even admit that they are. And then, but once you do, you can get any kind of salve that they make. Right,
We have a guy that comes out and
It's
douses
just-
to help with wells.
Yeah, I mean,
Dowsing's still really popular.
I got a small library on all that.
yeah, so they're far and few between if you can find them.
They are still there, like-
still out.
like
We
our
know we have
beautiful-
them here in Ohio. But
with our beautiful Aunt BB.
yeah,
I went up
there's
to
still
the
some people out there.
Well, I'm going to have to probably get off here. I think it's starting to break up on me. But one last thing. I started studying plants and stuff a long time ago. And so far, in my area alone, I know of over 103 medicinal and edible plants in this region. And
Nice.
when I start my channel, I got a master plan. All right. I'm making friends with all you good people because when I start my channel and start sharing all this, you guys are going to find me. And I know you're going to promote me. And it's going to be awesome.
You let us know when you get that started because, yes, sir,
Yeah.
I will be there. I will absolutely be there and encourage everyone I know to be there.
Well, I've got, like I said, I've been into this for
I don't
over
know that
50
many
years.
people, but
And I have a very refined kit. And I've field tested every little piece of it. And I could tell you what you have in your pockets to be handy, and all that stuff. But I'm to the point to where I could walk off in the woods without even a knife. And I'm going to be all right.
right on. Go ahead, Bonnie. And thank you, Carl, for coming up.
Yes,
You're more than
thank
welcome
you.
any day to come up and share your knowledge with us.
Thank
I
you very
appreciate
much.
Oh, I appreciate it. I love you all, guys. This just makes me happy being a part of all this. This is my realm.
This is
And we
even our
appreciate
neighborhoods
it.
aren't like this anymore. And this is what we need.
Yeah, you guys should all pull your money together and buy the 40 acres next to us. Seriously, I would love to have you guys for my neighbors. That would be epic. You're not far
I'm
from
a
me
rolling
already.
stone, man.
You're a gypsy.
I'm
so
a rolling
large.
stone. You give me invites like that, you just might meet me.
I would love to meet you, man. I bet you would be fun to have a night around a campfire with and just talk. You
That's
know?
my realm too.
Yeah.
There's nothing like campfire talk. Yeah, your ears will get sore.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how you stay up all night around a campfire, though.
Hands are cold and throat sore.
Well, okay,
Chat
before I leave,
anymore.
one more thing about
All
heat.
right.
All right. Now
All right.
I'm up here in Michigan, and I've got this military truck I converted, and the way I see it is there just isn't enough sources of heat. I've got a wood stove in my truck. I've got a propane stove in my truck. I've got a combustion
venting for
heater that
that?
runs off the gas tank. I've got my cab heater and I've got my electric heat. So I've got 5
Nice.
sources of heat.
I don't know.
And
He's
some
not
of the,
getting hypothermia.
and some of the best fuel for a wood stove, like I have a U.S. military Yukon stove. You don't have to have wood. I like pine cones the best. I can throw a bucket of pine cones in that thing and it'll last me 10 hours.
I bet you got a crate full of wool socks too. Maybe not a crate full, but at least a shoebox.
I do. That's the only ones I have. The old military issue green wool ones.
Wool socks could save your life. If you guys don't know that, buy yourself. If you want to buy yourself one prepping item, if you think you're going anywhere, even if you don't, you buy wool socks. I'm not kidding.
You got
even
that. Now there's
wool will keep you warmer than regular cotton.
Well, there's a thing about that. All right. See, there's only two fabrics, natural fabrics on this planet that will wick moisture away from the body and keep you warm. And that's buckskin and wool. There's a lot of synthetics out there like Gore-Tex fabrics, and I've tested those too, and they don't even stand close to those other two I mentioned.
Wow.
Yeah. Wool.
Something else.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And the natural lanolins that are in it help protect your skin from the elements. And even wet, wool will help you retain body heat quicker and better than anything else. Wool for your feet.
Well, you know, the Army issue sleeping bags. Are you familiar with any of the U.S. Army sleeping bags they have out? There's intermediate, there's extreme cold weather, and then there's the M1949 that I mentioned in chat.
Oh, you haven't been hanging out. You haven't been hanging out long enough to know that I love Army surplus stores.
Oh well, see, I've been a dealer since the 70s. So you know,
I just missed.
now listen, they back in World War II. 1945 sleeping bag wool. I've got a couple of them. I can probably take pictures of them, but they're pure wool sleeping bag, and that's what they gave our troops in World War II, and they lived by them.
Yep.
Well, you got any for sale?
Or know where we find them?
I
or
do.
Know where we can still
I
find
do
them?
actually. I got a couple of them that are for sale.
Can you access private chat?
I don't know how to do that, but doggone, email me. Find me on Facebook, some of you people, because that's where you can get hold of me anytime.
I don't have Facebook.
Yeah,
we don't do Facebook.
You do?
I wanted to give you my number.
I'm on MeWe. I'm on. Okay, well, I'm on MeWe too.
Hold on.
I just put my email in the chat again.
Okay. I'm gonna put this in private chat anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know how to get to private chat.
Hold on. Jeff's gonna tell you.
Are you on a phone?
Well, I'm on my phone talking to you, but I do my typing and watch on my screen of my on my PC.
Okay. You see the.
So I'm not even signed in. All right, I'm signed in on the computer.
You can. Okay.
I'm losing you guys. I'm gonna have to hit you in the chat.
Oh. All right.
You want to say hi?
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, you're breaking up bad.
Patient for what?
Thank you for coming up, Carl. Wow, those acorns are hitting hard.
Can you guys hear the storm? So, Bonnie, what other questions do you have that we can talk about? Maybe we can help alleviate other people's anxieties too. Okay. I don't know if we're helping you. I'm trying to.
No, you are. One of the things, when we were talking about the grid, I see a lot of people here in Texas asking why we can't get on the two that y'all are on. Would that be able to accommodate Texas?
Well, that's the thing that we started talking about before about Texas retaining a lot of its independence, right, from the United States, and part of that is the electric grid.
So you don't think that'll ever happen?
I really don't know.
Yeah, that part would be either negotiations or they would figure something out of their own.
That's part of that rigged system, honey.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother, right, that's a whole nother
Okay,
thing.
I grab this.
And And of
Let
course,
me write it
everybody's
down.
blaming our governor.
Well,
You know what? Your governor didn't put it in place. It's been in place for a very long time.
that's
And
the
your
thing.
governor's not wrong to want to retain your independence from the United States government, because you think about this. If you guys were plugged in to the United States grid and the United States grid gets hacked and
Then
shut
you
down,
get shut down.
where does that leave you? With heck of a better chances than the rest of us, right? So
Right now, yeah.
maintaining the independence, right, it can go both ways. It could be a blessing and a curse.
Right. And that's what I told them. I know that the people up north have power outages all the time, but they act like it's a big disaster here because they're just not used to it. Where y'all are.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. You know, this is not something that. Hold on, I'm trying to write something down at the same time here.
That's okay, hon.
See. All right. Still blind. Did I write that right?
IRAC.
L. But yeah.
Oh, LRACR.
Camo will email you, I promise.
ZARF@yahoo.com.
AR?
ZAR.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Where was I,
Belle, I'm
Bonnie?
in
You're going to have to
Central
remind me.
Texas.
All right, so what is your major concern if the power goes out? The heat?
Ow.
Means of cooking? Now listen, these are questions that you should ask yourself, and everybody, no matter where you are, should ask yourselves. If the power goes out, what is your main concern? Because if it's food in the refrigerator and freezer, then maybe you want to think about other means of storing those foods, like either getting them dehydrated and put away, or getting them canned and put away. That'll point you in a direction of what you're going to need, right? Canning jars. If you're going, if your concern is that you're not going to have air conditioning and it's going to be too hot, start looking into YouTube videos about how to make homemade air conditioners. Right? There's in the mountains. I don't know if Reaper's still in here or not, but in the mountains there's but Betty's here. All right, so Aunt B can tell you they do, like, it's called a dry fridge, and it's a box with holes and screens, and then, dang it, you know what?
Don't know.
I'm going to do some research on it because there's a bunch of different ones of them.
Ways you can make an air conditioner.
There are ways that you can make an air conditioner that doesn't require electricity. There are ways that you can refrigerate food to an extent without electricity. And we can look into those things, right? So we're educated about it. What else? Lights. Have alternative means of lighting. Wally World has headlamps, right? Those little headlamps for $1. Pick up one of those and keep a jug of water, and you put the headband around it, and you flip the light into the water jug, and it illuminates the room, because water is a great reflector, and it reflects the light around. All right, there's a cheap way. You can do candles. You know, if you think about what your fear of the electric going out means, you're going to know what direction to point yourself in. If it's simply, I have to have a CPAP at night and I need to have that, then you want to invest in some kind of a solar power generator. Don't get one from somewhere where you buy food they're probably making their food better than they're making the generators. Look into it. Do a little bit of research on YouTube. There are a lot of reviews on solar powered generators, and then, you know, listen to some of these people. Some of them are doing the reviews on their own. They're not paid reviews. So that's something, you know, I always found useful. Within the first 5 minutes, they're going to tell you whether they're getting paid for it or not. And if they're not getting paid for it, they're just doing the review on their own, chances are it's honest.
That's cool.
So
Belle is just right down the road from me.
Oh, right on. So you two should get in touch.
Belle Star, yes.
And if
that's
you guys want to go,
that's why I can't leave yet. My mother is 81, and her and my stepfather, they live out in the middle of nowhere, kinda between me and San Antonio, and they're not in good health, and so I have to be here for her now, along with my group. But I do have a son that lives in a really good area, and if we needed to go, I know we could go there.
And do you have a route plan that takes mainly back roads? Because if you're in a situation where you needed to go, chances are you need to know how to get there without traveling a major highway.
Yeah.
So buy a map and look for a route and have your route planned out. Drive it and see how long it takes you, and look at how many intersections you need to go through that cross major highways or throughways. This is for people who are, you know, feel like they may have to leave their area.
Right on. Gary.
It's just sound thinking, if you ask me. Oh, right on. Prepper's Peak solar water heater. But you know, if you know, you're in a situation where you're like, okay, we're going to stay here until we absolutely have to go, last minute, right?
Oh wow.
What I would tell you is, and if you feel in your heart like you're going to have to make that move, but you're going to wait till the last minute, you go ahead and pack up half of what you have in that vehicle, because packing in that vehicle when you're ready to go is going to cost you important time.
Right.
So have it put away and take it off of your house inventory. That's how you find out what you need to do and how to get it done. And those are simple steps you can use to start planning. If you break it into smaller pieces, it's easier to digest.
Right. And I told the girls that we needed to have some totes in the car of what we need.
And listen, you don't even have to buy them fancy vacuum bags. You can use trash bags and just have the kids sit on them and roll around on them and get all the air out and tie them down as tight as you can and tape them, and they'll be like vacuum sealed. They won't take up that much space, right? You can. I know that's not perfect advice, but to get it all packed in there, sometimes you have to use the cheats. And if you're trying to do it on a budget, you know, this is something where you can spend a little less money in this one area and be able to put that more towards an important thing, you know, something really important. You know, so, and honestly, a solar generator, I think, is a good investment. If we had the money, we would invest in one too. We have solar panels and a battery bank, but if we had to pick up and go somewhere,
I think I had seen one.
We're pretty good without electricity, but you know, we've got it where we've got certain things in our tackle boxes. Like we could pick up those tackle boxes and walk out the door with a sleeping and roll and be fine if we had to. That's not the way I would have it go, but and we do keep bags. We keep a bag made up in the car just in case anything should ever happen. We got to walk home. Because that's happened like 2 miles from the house. The car breaks down. That's happened. Got a horseshoe nail in my tire. Actually, I had 2 tires flat at one time. That was fun.
No.
But yeah, and it was that winter. Well, it was a couple winters ago, and we had below 0 temperatures that winter. So but I always have a little small wool blanket that I kept in the car when I was doing newspapers, because some of the areas you don't have a signal. And so I sat there until the farmers woke up, and they pulled my car down into the shed, into the garage with a tractor, and then they put air back in my tires and, plugged the holes and stuff for me. So,
I always carry a blanket for shock.
Yeah, you never know.
We have so many accidents around here that that's just been my
policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain things we do too that just automatic.
Yep. I always keep toilet paper in the car too.
Always.
Yes.
God sent.
That's a definite.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, like, once you sit down and you think about what is okay, so let's say the grid goes out. What am I worried about? Right? What am I worried about most? Do I have so much meat in the freezer that it's all going to go to bad and I'm not going to have anything to eat? Well, make some pemmican, dehydrate some of it, jerk it, whatever you have to do to continue the preservation. You can still use jerky in meals.
Yes.
You can still use dehydrated foods in meals, and they're lightweight. They're going to be lighter to carry if you have to carry anything.
Right.
But yeah, if you're in a situation where you feel that you may eventually have to go somewhere, that would be my advice. Start small, break it into pieces, and take each piece on its own and figure it out before you tie it together, and then see how they all work together. And but that map thing, if you got to go somewhere, have a map planned out with the least. Try to take roads that have the least amount of proximity to highways and byways. You don't want to go through cities. If you're in that kind of a situation, you're not going to want to drive into a city. Those streets are going to be probably clogged anyway.
I usually do back roads anyway, but I even know the back road.
There you go.
Do a lot of road trips around here.
Yep. So I mean, there's, don't forget essentials, right? You got girls. Buy an extra couple feminine products. Stock them into the car. Stock them right into the car. You have them. You don't have to worry about them. You can tick them off your list.
It's like Betty said right there.
2
rolls right in a coffee can.
Yeah. So
suckers right in there. And, yep.
There are little things that you can do, and you can do a little bit at a time, or
always keep an extra lighter in the console.
If you're of a mind that all this is coming and it's happening at the appointed time that we've all heard, that I won't repeat. And yeah, I do think something probably will happen. I don't think it's going to be.
Stop at your Dollar Tree too. Here's a thing you can get
post-apocalyptic, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Sounds crazy enough, but here, grab that box right there on the end there, or grab a box. It don't matter. But this is worth it too. And honestly, for $1, you get 5 of these, and of course they're freeze dried. and you put one or two of these in the car. You get yourself like a tin and get yourself. But they look. I was gonna say they look just like
Pop
these.
them out of the box. There's less storage.
1 cup of coffee. This is
There's
iced
3
tea.
cups of coffee.
This is iced tea.
Green tea.
And it's Arizona green tea. We get these at the Dollar Tree for $1 a box.
And
5 of them in a box.
And then we bring them home and we store them in these. I want to show her the tin.
Yeah.
In these little Dollar Tree Christmas tins, and and you can fill them up.
But if you get smaller tins for your backpacks, put a couple of them in the car.
They're
make
just
sure
good
they're
to have.
a tin. So if you do have mice in your area, you don't want them getting in a tin.
Right.
Or even if you go into the fishing section, those little headlamps I was talking about, you can find those in the fishing and camping section. They also have a headlamp, and they also usually have these right beside it. They are $1. They take 3 AAA batteries. We have probably about 30 of these floating around here somewhere. Just because, first off, we got a 9-year-old, so she loves flashlights.
Extra meds if you have meds that you're on that are life saving. You need
just
to
little
keep some
things,
of those in the car.
I mean, you get yourself a little box or something, a tin or something that's waterproof or something that nothing can get into, and then if anything happened, like you said, it could be just an engine dying on the side of the road, and make sure you have a couple bottles of water in there, distilled, and you got yourself something to drink, water.
I mean,
it's
and
just little stuff.
Those are little things that you can do that just make it easier. If you
you just know you're all right.
Don't tackle the mountain in one day, right? You're going to make it up the mountain more successfully if you split it into sections and take breaks along the way.
Don't pull hard.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and that's what I was doing.
You sit down tonight.
An order. I was putting an order, and I looked over the total, and it's like $675, and I'm all, no, now what can I take off? And you get in a panic when you listen to, you got to have this, you got to have this, you got to have this, and no, you don't.
No,
y'all have been that's so helpful. I appreciate.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for asking, because I mean, I think some people, they get in that state and it puts them in a state of panic, and then it's it's not easy to get out of that state, and if you can't ask the questions of somebody, you can't think straight, because fear messes with your critical thinking ability.
Right. And that's why I wanted to ask y'all, because y'all are doing it. And y'all are so easy to talk to also. It's like,
well,
y'all are family.
We appreciate it.
We feel the same.
We feel the same. Mushy now.
Yeah, we love you guys. We really do. And we are always here to help. And if there are a lot of things we don't know, I love learning from everybody else. And I love our chat because you guys are just amazing. And if we don't know it, somebody in there does, and we can put that up and go, "Oh yeah, yeah, here's another one. Here's another one."
Oh man.
And
we're just making them
artist and poet. She's good too. You can put spices in straws. Get some of get a pack of straws for $1, and you can use a funnel with some paper, right? Like you did when you were a kid, and just put the spices down in there, burn the ends, and clamp them, and you're good.
Yep.
You can clamp them with a pair of pliers. You got a pair of those around somewhere, don't you? Tongs,
even just
something, clothespin will work.
Actually, you go on a 2-day camping trip for the weekend. 9 times out of 10, you go and you buy those little travel salt and pepper for $1 from the Dollar General, and it's bulky.
Yeah.
And if you're only going to be there a couple of days, there's enough salt and pepper in one of those straws that will last plenty for or even if you did 4 of them, 2 salts and 2 peppers. Way plenty of what you need for the entire weekend, and it takes up less space.
Yeah, way less space.
So, it's just
right.
A big camping
it's just-
I put
adventure.
everything in
just
Ziploc bags as I can.
You know
yeah,
what?
oh yeah, you can save so much room with those too.
This is a big camping adventure where you may be in the woods for a season.
Believe it or not, we when we get certain things and when we get back from the butcher, sometime now the last few times we haven't done it, but what we've done the last few times is we've gotten all our hamburger, of course, are in pound packages. Our meats are all individually wrapped, but when we have our fillet already cut into. Now we don't go with thick strips like they do at the restaurants and everything like that. I just do thin, nice steak filet mignon. I just do those up, and then we put. Well, this year we're gonna have to go step it up to 3 because now our daughter's big enough. But we'd only do 2, and my wife and her would actually split one because it's just enough meat. You don't need a whole bunch, But
Right.
we'd portion everything all the way down to the T, and then throughout the week it's almost like basically you've almost got all your meals together. And you just get out what you need for the next day. Boom, boom, that's done.
If you're going to be prepared, planning is vital, right?
Portioning is another part, and that's
just like when your kids were growing up, you'd plan what you were going to serve for lunch for school, and so you would buy your groceries according to that plan, correct? You know how to do this.
Yeah.
You just didn't apply those skill sets in the same way, but it is literally
it's the same.
Yeah. That's a lot of them you really have. Yeah, they're cheap but functional.
They are cheap and functional, but we also need to remember who they're owned by.
Ooh.
And we need to stop purchasing from them so they can go bye-bye.
Awesome, Bella.
And have American stores put in place again, because we need to get America back on that part.
So, I mean,
I do feel you. It's hard to peel away from them to go somewhere else at the same time. And
I wish more people would like ask the question so they can sit and, you got to think about yourself and what you do know already. And a lot of people think I don't have these skills or I don't have those skills because somebody can get on and talk about it, and that's all well and good. But a lot of these things we do have. We've had them all along, and we just never realized it because we've never had to function that way. So pretend that you're preparing for an extended camping trip, because essentially that's what it is.
Yeah. A lot of things, and even around my house, it's like I need a handyman. And I keep telling the girls, if you start dating, make sure he knows how to do everything.
But you can, and you probably know at least a little something about that. There's got to be things that you probably know. Look, even I got lazy about it, right? When we first started this, I was letting all this technological button stuff and the setup of this stuff mess with me. And I kept saying, I'm technologically, defunct. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Well, I am going to tell you guys the truth is that I have an actual degree in website and interactive design media. And my daughter wanted to get into doing some digital art, and I set her up with a program the other day, and I got myself all frustrated again. And then I said, wait a minute, Heather, what are you doing? And I pulled up the code sheet and I started looking at it, and I was like, okay, I can still read that. I still understand that. So I'm going to stop pretending like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to get it right, and I'm going to get in here and just do it. And so that's how we came up with the intro, because I finally got tired of forgetting what I've learned, right? And remembering the things that I know, and then utilizing those skills in different areas. Just because it's different software doesn't mean I can't apply some of the same mechanisms to make it work. So we have to really evaluate that with ourselves. Go ahead.
And I know how to do those things, and I just can't physically do it myself. I'm still battling some things that I need to take care of. And the girls are just working 6 days a week. I hate to tell them, hey, do this, because
I
they're
get it.
wore out 13 hours a day.
You have like a local
so
handyman there?
I've been posting on Facebook. I'm trying to find one.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Nobody wants to work.
If you can find somebody that'll barter some of their time and effort and, you know, for anything, you got some extra canned food laying around, or you got like home canned food or anything like that, or you know, I think we're in a time now where maybe the money isn't going to matter, right? To some people. So if you can give them something
I don't
else
think it's
of
got.
worth, huh?
I don't think it's got that far here yet.
Well,
That's not something people around. They're still stuck in the. I got to be rich to be somebody.
I understand. I do understand that.
Don't.
All right. Well,
we're all going to the same place. We're all.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The destination's all the same, right? Just because you took a different highway. Well, you guys, hey, Bella said her son could help.
Really?
She's volunteering her son. Bella, do you want me to pass your email on to Bonnie? Because I will do so if you'd like, so you two can get in touch. Let me know.
Be awesome.
And then, do you have any more questions for us today, or do you want to get some more questions for us for tomorrow? I love you, Bonnie. Good. I love you so much.
I won't take up your whole show again.
Oh no, it's fine. We're fine. Yeah, we'll leave here and we'll go over and everybody's saying that Sage came on with an alert. And
oh, did he?
But here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you this: if you're already in a little bit of a worked up state, leave this news alone. Leave all of it alone.
Yeah. Good.
Rewatch the campfire. You have to breathe, and you have to. If you're in a state of anxiety or perpetual anxiety or fear or any of that, you need to leave those things alone and calm back down so you can see the big picture clearly. Because if you let yourself get worked up, you're giving them exactly what they want, because you're not going to think straight. And fear causes panic, and panic destroys things. I will, Bella. I'm going to pass her. I'll send that to you here in a little bit. I'll send you Bella's email, and you and her can reach out to each other. Because I don't think she's far from you. Yeah, I will.
Okay.
But yeah. So that's turn off the news, right? Like Jeff Riddle says, turn off the news.
Get away from it all.
I've been having to do that. Even Liberty Warrior the other day, I kind of got okay, and I got out, and apparently it got a whole lot worse after I left. So it's a good thing I got out.
Yeah, and in it, I mean, cognitive dissonance.
I love Ray, but sometimes I do have to step away from it, and I know everybody does. We're in a, we all feel like something, so that's going to cause attention anyway. And so you try to keep your balance, just stay at a level.
Yeah.
Don't get all worked up and spastic. But that's all I was worrying about was, okay, do I have enough? And that was just my thing is
Yeah. Just
I
a
have
level
enough
head.
right here, right?
Yep. Yep. But and that's the thing. I mean, so if you start feeling that way, even with somebody that you love listening to, and even, the last couple nights, Jeff and I have had to sit back and kind of just take off because, we're not going to let ourselves get worked up on this stuff, and that's why we did the backyard camping.
Yeah.
It was really important
Then I'm
that we
gonna
did
go
that because, and you guys with little ones around you, the kids are picking up on these vibes too, and it's messing with them. So,
yeah,
we as responsible adults and loving human beings have to be able to step back and say, I know stuff's happening. I already know that it's happening, and I'm going to leave it there. I don't need to know every little thing, but I need to take care of
right.
some things so that I don't feel so messed up when it does happen. I've done my part, I've done my job, and I've gone and done exactly what I needed to. Now, if you want to call me later, if you have questions or something and you need to call me, Bonnie, you call me, okay?
Actually, we need her to call so we can give her email.
Good. I don't want to bother y'all.
I got it. I got her phone number. I'm gonna send you Belle's info, okay?
Okay.
I'll
Y'all
just
stay
text
safe
you.
in those storms.
You too. You guys be well
Hey.
out there.
Oh yeah.
Love and light. I think we're gonna
Thank
go ahead and
you.
call it too.
Y'all been a little longer than we thought.
Yeah.
Love you all in chat.
All right.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
love you
adopt
all,
Betty
Chad.
too.
I know, right? Aunt BB. That's Aunt BB.
And BB.
Y'all take care. Thank you.
All right.
We'll talk to you
Bye.
guys soon. Bye-bye.
And everybody out there in YouTube land, we love you. Love and light. Remember,
thanks for stopping by.
just breathe. Wasu.
Everything will be all right.
All right.
All right. Love y'all.